Hello everyone. Before we get into today's video, I just wanted to let you know I have a YAK-3 coffee mug available for sale for only $16.99, and discount code is Spitfire, for a $4 off coupon. So only $12.99. That's a great deal you can't even beat at Walmart. Shipping is worldwide for only a tiny extra cost.
Origins. The origins of the YAK-3 went back to 1941 when the I-30 prototype was offered along with the I-26, also known as YAK-1, as an alternative design. The I-30, powered by a Klimov M-105P engine, was of all-metal construction, using a wing with dihedral on the outer panels. Like the early YAK-1, it had a 20mm, 0.79-inch ShVAK cannon firing through the hollow-driveshaft nose spinner as a motornaya pushka, literally, motor cannon, twin 7.62mm, 0.300-inch synchronized ShKAS machine guns in cowling mounts and a ShVAK cannon in each wing. During the Battle of Stalingrad, Luftwaffe fighters exhibited significant speed, climb rate, and armament advantages over those of the VPS. The YAK-1 then in service was understood to be in urgent need of a modernization were it to fight on equal footing against the latest models of German fighters, as well as better energy retention and higher firepower. Then, in 1943, a group of designers headed by Alexander Sergeyevich Yakovlev designed the YAK-3, a further development of the proven YAK-1 aimed at improving survivability, flight characteristics, and firepower, which required a lower weight, a higher power engine, and therefore, faster speed. Design and development. The first of two prototypes had a slatted wing to improve handling and short field performance, while the second prototype had a wooden wing without slats in order to simplify production and save aluminium. The second prototype crashed during flight tests and was written off. Although there were plans to put the YAK-3 into production, the scarcity of aviation aluminium and the pressure of the Nazi invasion led to work on the first YAK-3 being abandoned in late 1941. In between 1942 and 1943, Yakovlev built the YAK-1M prototype that would ultimately lead to the YAK-3, coupled with the VK-105P-F2, the latest iteration of the VK-105 engine family, where P indicated support for a motornaya pushka, an autocannon that fires between the engine banks, through the hollow propeller shaft, mounting. It incorporated a wing of similar design, but with smaller surface area, 17.15 to 14.85 square meters, 184.6 to 159.8 square feet, and had further aerodynamic refinements, like the new placement of the oil radiator from the chin to the wing roots, one of the visual differences with the YAK-1-7-9. A second YAK-1M, originally meant as a backup prototype, was constructed later that year, differing from the first aircraft in that it had plywood instead of fabric covering of the rear fuselage, mastless radio antenna, reflector gun sight, and improved armor and engine cooling. After the VK-105P-F2 engine received a boost from a manifold pressure of 1050mm of mercury to 1100mm of mercury, additional tests were needed to determine how it impacted the flight characteristics of the YAK-3. State trials revealed that this boost reduced the time needed to reach 5,000 meters, 16,000 feet, by 0.1 seconds, the takeoff run by 15 meters, 49 feet, altitude gain in a combat loop by 50 meters, 160 feet, and speed below 2,400 meters, 7,900 feet, by 5 to 6 kilometers per hour, 3 to 4 miles per hour. The chief test pilot for the project, Petr Mikhailovich Stefanovsky, was so impressed with the new aircraft that he recommended that it should completely replace the YAK-1 and YAK-7 with only the YAK-9 retained in production for further work with the Klimov VK-107 engine. The new fighter, designated the YAK-3, entered service in 1944, later than the YAK-9 despite the lower designation number, and by mid-1946 4,848 had been built. 4. The designation YAK-3 was also used for other Yakovlev projects, a proposed, but never built, heavy twin-engine fighter and the Yakovlev Yak-7A. The first 197 YAK-3 were lightly armed with a single motornaya pushka mount 20mm, 0.79-inch ShVAK cannon and one 12.7mm, 0.50-inch UBS synchronized machine gun, with subsequent aircraft receiving a second UBS for a weight of fire of 2.72 kilograms, 6.0 pounds, per second using high explosive ammunition. All armament was installed close to the axis of the aircraft with a cannon mounted in the engine, firing through the propeller boss, synchronized machine guns in the fuselage, helping accuracy and leaving wings unloaded. Operational history. YAK-3 featured on 2011 postage stamp of Russia, Weapons of Victory stamp series. Lighter and smaller than the YAK-9 but powered by the same engine, the YAK-3 was a forgiving, easy-to-handle aircraft loved by both novice and experienced pilots. It was robust, easy to maintain, and a highly successful dogfighter, too. It was used mostly as a tactical fighter, flying low over battlefields and engaging in dogfights below 4,000 m, 13,000 feet. 4. The new aircraft began to reach frontline units during summer 1944. YAK-3 service tests were conducted by 91st IAP of the 2nd Air Army, commanded by Lieutenant Colonel Cupton, in July 1944. The regiment had the task of gaining air superiority. During 431 sorties, 20 Luftwaffe fighters and 3 Junkers Ju-87s were shot down, while Soviet losses amounted to 2 YAK-3s shot down. 5. A large dogfight developed on the 16th of June 1944, when 18 YAK-3s clashed with 24 German aircraft. Soviet YAK-3 fighters shot down 15 German aircraft for the loss of 1 Yak destroyed and 1 damaged. The following day, Luftwaffe activity over that section of the front had virtually ceased. 6. On the 17th of July 1944, 8 Yaks attacked a formation of 60 German aircraft, including escorting fighters. In the ensuing dogfight, the Luftwaffe lost 3 Ju-87s and 4 Bf-109GS, for no loss. 7. The Luftwaffe issued an order to avoid combat below 5,000 meters with Yakovlev fighters lacking an oil cooler intake beneath the nose. 8. Luftwaffe fighters in combat with the YAK-3 tried to use surprise tactics, attacking from above. 9. Unresolved wartime problems with the YAK-3 included plywood surfaces delaminating when the aircraft pulled out of a high-speed dive. 2. Short range and poor engine reliability. The pneumatic system for actuating landing gear, flaps and brakes, typical for all Yakovlev fighters of the time, was troublesome. Though less reliable than hydraulic or electrical alternatives, the pneumatic system was preferred owing to the weight saving. In 1944, the Normandy group re-equipped with the YAK-3, scoring the last 99 of their 273 air victories against the Luftwaffe. 9. Total YAK-3 losses in combat were 210, 60 in 1944 and 150 in 1945.